Sony's cloud streaming makes the PlayStation Portal far more useful. That's right. The PlayStation Portal was that thing with the two controllers and the screen in the middle, in case you don't know. And the whole thing about it was you had to stream the games from your PlayStation 5 at home, while the PlayStation 5 is on. And essentially what that did was just make it portable where you could take it to bed. But now it seems like they did this upgrade where now, even without a PlayStation 5, you could access your PlayStation Plus stuff and just stream it to your PlayStation Portable. And I gotta say, for $200 US, that's amazing. I think that's a really good deal.
All of a sudden, it's a bargain.
Like, all of a sudden, this thing is awesome.
It's incredible.
I like that they did an update with no announcement, no trailer, no nothing. They just casually dropped this on a Tuesday or something, and they were like, guess what? 120 titles in the palm of your hand. And, that's great, man. Like, that's really good. I think they saw that this thing... Not that they saw that it was missing some things, because it's definitely missing some things, but, like, it's like, what can we really do to sell this? And they did this, at the appropriate time. Christmas is around the corner. This is an affordable thing to get people in terms of, like, tech. So I think this is a no-brainer, and in terms of, like, as a business move, it's also a no-brainer. I think it's great. What do you think?
It's funny because the article says here, after cloud streaming a bit of the Spider-Man Miles Morales Control and Demon Souls, I just have one question for Sony. Why wasn't this on the PlayStation Portal when it launched a year ago? I think because I think, and we covered this, I think the portable was rushed out. It was rushed out. And I remember you cut a little bit of a promo on it, like, what the fuck is Sony doing? They got this portable out that nobody wants. They got the VR that nobody wants. It's like, well, hold on a second. And now they're making these changes, right? And just to not correct you, but just to edit something that you said, you can, before this update, this beta that dropped, you could go anywhere and play the games outside, but you'd need an internet connection. So, like, let's just say you went to McDonald's or your local coffee shop, you would just need a really good internet connection. And the problem is, you need a really solid internet connection and a fast internet connection to be able to stream everything with no lag or latency, right? So it just became a problem for a lot of people. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Mystic, he actually took it on a test drive, quite literally. He drove to a couple different McDonald's and places with Wi-Fi to test it out in his car, how far he needed to be from the thing, and mixed results, and obviously it works best, like you said, Pat, if you're at home, like, 10, 20 feet from your router, that's when you're going to get the best sort of connection. But to see this beta drop for this new feature of being able to stream it from the cloud like that, I think that's pretty badass. And obviously with your next story, it's leading to other bigger and better things. But this is really good. And you're right, $200. I mean, it's $200 US, so it's a little bit more here in Canada, even $250 maybe. But here in Canada, PlayStation 5 controller is $89.99. I've seen it up to like $105 for a PlayStation 5 controller. So for the price of two controllers, you get this really nice screen. And at the time was a very basic UI setup and all that stuff. But they're building on it, right? They're building on what they've done with the portable. And it's so funny, before you get into the next story, for me, when I'm watching all this, I'm like, oh my God, this was, in my opinion, rushed out to market last year or 2 years ago whenever it dropped. Are they now experimenting with other things that could potentially lead to a proper portable? And I think we're going to get our answer.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's definitely something that should have been there a year ago at launch.
Right.
It would have done wonders for this thing. People would not have been so negative on it like they were. I think it being a cheaper price point is what made people buy it anyway. And then they kind of realized, like, you know what, there is something to this.
Sure.
And that saved them in a way. But now that they're doing this is the right move. So, yeah, I don't think I'll get one. Like I kind of want one, but like I'm not really sold on it yet. But it's cool for people that, have a use for this. For me, it's like I'd rather just play on the TV at all times. But there are times where it's like, I'm in bed, I'm not sleeping. Maybe I could play some PlayStation. But
right.
Yeah, that's cool. Chris, do you ever see yourself getting one of these?
The more I look at it, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, eh?
I think so. It'll depend, right? I think they're available now for about $260, $270 here in Canada, so it's not too bad. And you need a really good internet connection, which I have at home. I have one of the faster internets available, so that's I'm covered there. But even with work and stuff like that, I mostly worked remote and from home, so it's not something that where I'm always traveling or anything like that. But man, once or twice a year on an airplane or something, or traveling somewhere, like, I think it's really, really convenient, and it's a cool thing to have. And what I like about the portable is it's literally a controller split in half. So it's not like the Vita or even the PSP where it's a little bit different. Everything feels different because it doesn't feel like an authentic controller. Not that it pretends to, it's just different, right? The little thumbstick and everything, right? Which I kind of like. I like the feeling of that thumbstick on the Vita. But to have an actual controller with a screen in the middle, it sounds so archaic and silly and very basic, but it's perfect. It's like a perfect thing. It's exactly, all the buttons are exactly where you want them to be. It feels exactly how you'd want it. And so, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, especially if you already have a portable. You're going to be able to do all these betas and check this out for yourself.
It looks extremely comfortable to hold. I will say that because of that, right? If you guys like this video, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. Go even further and subscribe to Podcast Fresh wherever you listen to your podcasts for new episodes every week.